Do some black wash on this base of this right here, because I have to do it for somebody who's requested a dungeon that I'm still working on. But I wanted to give some quick updates before we jump into this to give people time to join. So in a few minutes, I'm going to do my sound check. Once the leg, you know, things take so long sometimes to come through from the video starts to when I actually see it live. So while we're waiting for that, let's do a quick update on my Ram Man. So as you guys know, yesterday somebody helped me figure out how to make this cool Ram Man. And before, he had these pinkish color arms. And I really wanted his arms to be more like He-Man's arms. So somebody suggested some ideas. And so together we kind of figured out how he should look. And so then I did a brown wash on his face to kind of match the skin tone. So he's not so pinkish looking, as you can see. So there we go. There's my completed Ram Man. And again, thank you fans for helping me figure this out. That was so cool yesterday, working on a custom figure together. That was a lot of fun. So thanks again, you guys. So a quick update on the dungeon for the guy that has still been patiently waiting from He-Man.org. I'm still working on it slowly. So I finished the top part of the dungeon. Ooh, there it is. So beautiful looking and nice. And so I painted it all silver. You can see I just painted the top half. The bottom half still the normal color. And that's just because this goes on top. You're not going to see the inside. And then I did the same to the window and the grate that goes down in front. And I first put a nice resin coating on it to make them nice and smooth after I sanded them. And there they are. So those parts are done. So what's next is your floor, which I'm going to work on right now. So if you're going to do black wash, and I've done a few of these floors, so I'm getting pretty good at doing this. So I figured, you know what? I might as well show you guys how to do it. For those of you who buy raw dungeons, then you can see how to do it. The first trick is don't sand the floor. Usually I sand all the parts nice and smooth and resin coat them. If you do that, you're going to lose a lot of the detail that we want the black wash to get inside of, and we don't want to lose that cool detail. So you can see right here, here's the floor. And our first thing we have to do is level this tray that I'm going to make it on. So I'm going to take and use my level and make sure this is nice and flush, because if it's not level, what's going to happen is I'm going to end up with my black wash leaking on the sides and not getting, you know, all where it's supposed to be. So first order of business is to level this thing out, making sure that when the black wash flows, it is nice and level. So it takes a few minutes to get it level. So I use these little triangle pieces right here to level it out. And it's just good practice to do, to make sure that before you apply your black wash or any washes, that you have a nice level surface to work on. Otherwise, you'll have an uneven black wash. You'll end up with the stuff flowing in one direction, one way or another. When I dry it as well, I slowly spin it. That way then, in case something isn't quite right, then it's spinning, and that way then I don't have to worry about it leaning to one side or another. So I use the micro go round and just have it spin with the fan blowing across it, because it takes so long for it to dry all the way. So you won't get to see the finished completed one today here, because I'll be drying it on. It takes a number of hours for it to dry. As a heads up though, when you apply your black wash, it's going to look really dark and thick before it dries. But once it dries and all the black wash kind of pulls into all the grooves and stuff, it's going to lighten up a lot. So you want to put a lot of black wash on and a lot of water on to get the flow to work right. So what I like to use is these this game ink right here. And this is my favorite. I put a link to it in the description. So if you guys want to get some of this for yourself or see what it is, you can click the link in the description for it. And you don't want to use it straight. If you use it straight, you're going to end up making black streaks everywhere. It's just not going to look very well. So I use the spray bottle here to help mist it out. And basically, it's just a standard spray bottle. I just spray it with lots of water all over the place. So to mix this up, first thing I do is I get a paper cup and I turn it upside down and I shake up my blackwash. Wow, no one's even commenting. Is anybody out there? Can you hear me? Let's check my volume. So I use the spray bottle. Yep, I can hear it. All right, so let's go ahead and put a few drops in here. Burp, burp, burp. There we go. I'll have one more for good measure. Hooray. And then I'm going to add some water to it. And normally I actually just put water in it instead of trying to spray it on there, but no foresight of me looking ahead and making sure I have water available. There we go. That is a nice amount of blackwash. So now I just take my brush and I'm just going to coat this thing all over. Notice I got a nice tray it's sitting on to protect it from getting all over my stuff. So I'm just going to take and just coat this on there really thick. And you can see that it's pretty thinned out from the water. I just dump it on there. What the heck? Just spread it all out. And your goal was to get this kind of to be even all over it. And like I said before, it's going to look like you have way too much on there, and that's what you want. Because when it dries, it's going to pool together and kind of suck in and not have enough on there. So more is okay. In fact, I might actually mix up some more and throw it on there. Just to make sure I got enough for this. Yeah, you know what? It's time to mix up a little more. A couple more drops will do. There we go. I know it looks like a mess right now. It kind of is. But when it dries, it just comes out looking so cool. But the trick is you got to have it flat. If it's not flat, it's not going to dry right. And it's going to look awful. So you got to make sure you have it completely flat. You know what? I already know this is not going to be enough. When I actually go to let this dry, it's just not going to be enough. So let me go and add some more. Burp, burp, burp. And we're not going to dilute this one down because it's already pretty diluted. And we'll just add some more in there. There we go. Make that dungeon floor look really cool. Yes, this is coming out nice. Now, like I said, it looks like a mess now, but when it dries, and I'll show you guys a video later on this week of it completed and dried, so you can see what it looks like. At least before I mail off the dungeon, I'll make sure to make a video so you guys can see the completed, all the parts put together. Okay, so just get right up along the edges. Now the final step, just dilute it a little bit more with my spray bottle. There we go. Hooray! And it's done. Now it's going to look way cooler once it dries. All the crevices are going to fill in just right. And like I said, it takes a while for it to dry. So I'm just going to wait for it to dry. Right, so I mentioned about my micro go round that I use. So this is what I use right here. They have different versions. This one right here is on Amazon. I probably should have put a link to it. When I bought it originally, it was like 10, 15 bucks. Now it's like $47. When you do get this, there's a spring inside it you got to take out so that you don't have to have weight. Otherwise, it requires weight to push down and then stops it from working. And to pull it apart, you just take out these 3 pins right here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Just take a screwdriver and just press them right in here and pop them out. Then pull off this bottom piece and then remove the spring mechanism on the inside. And then it will allow it to not have to have weight. So when I first got this, I had to keep putting a little circular 1-pound weight in there before it would work. Hey, Master Far. Yep, hoping to do something with the Savage He-Man when I get him. So here's the completed part. Now what I did was after it dried, I used this Krylon clear finish. I use this matte finish all the time. And then I put a light coat of gloss on it. And you can see the difference between the two. So here's the original floor, and then there's the completed one. So you can see putting that black wash on there makes a huge difference. It looks just so much cooler with the black wash on there. It really brings out the details in comparison. Yeah, I can't find them in the wild either, but I did put a link to them on eBay in one of my other videos. Or actually, no, on my Facebook page. Somebody had them on eBay for less than Big Bad Toy Store, so I canceled my Big Bad Toy Store order and decided to go with the ones on eBay because they were actually cheaper. But check out how cool that came out. And remember before when I first painted it on, it was a huge mess. And now it just looks so cool. And you can see the stones coming out in all little pieces and gives it a cool... Thanks, Mike. So Mike, if you have to do that black wash, again, just watch that first video. A whole bunch of drops of this, some water, a spray bottle, and then make sure it's level when you do it. If you didn't see the first video, go back and watch it because you're going to want to see how to do that. Hey, Weird Fantastic, thanks for joining us. All right, so I know this is a really short video, and if you want to see where that's at on eBay, Mike, go to my Facebook page first. I have a link to it on there, and it will take you to the auction that I found. And I actually bought 2 from the guy. And he hasn't mailed them yet, so I'm a little scared because I already canceled my Big Bad Toy order, but hopefully he'll come through. Alright, so in case you didn't see my first video, here is my Ram Man now that he has his face. I used a brown wash on him with some black mix to match the skin tone. You can see the difference of his original skin tone versus the washed skin tone. Way different, and of course it does match his new skin tone pretty good. So there you go. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out too. All right. Anyway, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I know it's a really short video this time, but I didn't have much to share this time, as I'm just showing you the completed black wash. I almost want I should take the 2 videos and combine them into one and re-release it so somebody doesn't have to go find both video pieces to... I'll just leave it. Anyway, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and feel free to ask questions on Facebook. And I know somebody asked me a question the other day about how do these fit in the Classics castle, and I have not had a chance to set that video up yet. But hopefully I'll have that video set up soon so we can see how that works. Alright, you guys, thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.